What does Japan's flag remind you of? A Japanese soldier overheard this, forcing the female prisoner to kneel under scorching sun for 49 days. Sharpened bamboo poles surrounded her body. Any collapse would impale her. Bamboo tubes on her legs were lined with iron spikes. Sitting would leave her bleeding profusely. After 10 days of this torture, her consciousness began fading. Her lips cracked, skin burned by the sun, yet she refused to apologize. The impatient soldier approached and drew his blade. With brutal force he swung, as other prisoners watched helplessly. Not long before, these women were high society ladies, vacationing in Singapore with their husbands, living lives of luxury and indulgence. An explosion shattered their paradise. As Japanese forces advanced, Singapore's fall became imminent. Women and children rushed to evacuation ships. They naively believed safety awaited at sea, but the ruthless Japanese troops showed no mercy. Bombs rained down. As survivors jumped overboard, enemy planes returned for another pass. The survivors took to the water. 3 women separated from the group. After drifting for 24 hours, they spotted a distant island. Their relief was short-lived, as they encountered Japanese troops. An officer, smiling, beckoned them into his vehicle. Claiming British education, he promised their safety, and drove them to town. The women thought they found salvation, eager to show gratitude, but reality struck. They were beaten and marched to a camp with other prisoners. The camp commander announced through interpreters, "You are now slaves." When an American woman protested, claiming neutrality, the response was swift. Perfection. Little Neza. Speech was forbidden. They endured inhuman treatment, fed worse than dogs, forced to labor 18+ hours daily. A soldier targeted the sole Chinese prisoner. She knelt trembling as he doused her with gasoline. The flammable liquid soaked her completely. The commander struck a match and tossed it at her. Her screams faded into the roaring flames. The socialites finally understood Japanese brutality. Obedience became their only survival path. That night, a woman left the latrine. When a soldier grabbed her from behind, attempting assault, she fought back fiercely, sinking teeth into his arm. As he released her, she shoved him into a manure pit. He floundered helplessly in filth. For attacking a soldier, she was caged in bamboo. Next morning, the commander arrived with guards. They broke multiple ribs, offering no medical care, just alcohol to numb pain. She proposed forming a choir to sustain hope through music. By day they labored. She recruited members. At night, she composed melodies with partners. More people joined the choir. But during the first rehearsal, then, disaster struck. The Japanese soldiers thought they were plotting rebellion, and immediately dispersed them. To make an example, a soldier raised his gun and aimed at a prisoner's teddy bear. To make matters worse, they received a list containing only young and beautiful girls. The girls thought they'd be executed, their faces filled with despair. But the truck arrived at a grand villa, a Japanese comfort station. The soldiers didn't force them to stay, but those who agreed would get food, baths, and new clothes. The price wasn't stated, but everyone understood. Half a year later, all prisoners were suddenly loaded onto a truck. Passing the comfort station, they peeked through the canvas, and saw those who stayed, now well dressed, sipping afternoon tea. Some regretted not joining them, but the women's eyes were hollow, devoid of life. After being forced off the truck, they found another camp, just crumbling huts, where they had to survive alone, repair shelters, and dig for wild plants. When food ran out, they ate insects, and even raw snails from the ground. One by one, the weak collapsed. Graves multiplied in the camp, until the soldiers announced, "Ah, me. Exercise Appa." They finally returned home rejoicing, their memories becoming this film. Many survivors are still alive today,